event here in Australia, and we have today confirmed that that will be happening again on Sunday, September the 22nd. Tim, that must be very exciting news for you, having a look at those pictures and knowing what these events are like, to know that you'll be fighting in front of your home fans yet again.
Yeah, well, we started off in Sydney with No Limit, and then we went all over the country to where did we go? Townsville, Newcastle, Gold Coast, you know, so Australia's definitely been a buzz, and I've really enjoyed it here, and I can't wait to be back.
Does that excite you, hearing what George had to say about all the different venues around the country that are keen to host this fight?
Yeah, it's again, it's an honour. Whoever puts in that money, or whatever, you know, I'm keen to be back here in Oz, and it's exciting.
Waiting on confirmation about an opponent, but Erickson Lubin appears the man most likely given the announcement by the IBF. Tell us about that fight. It was meant to happen previously. How would you feel if it happens this time?
You know, everyone knows what happened last time, and you know, he did the Charlie. I was waiting for him, and I was prepping for him, but again, a lot of people talk the talk, but then when it's up to getting it done, they sort of go the other way running. So I hope, you know, like we're the two main boys in the division, in the IBF, so I hope we can get it on. Let's see if he accepts, you know, that's the real question.
Do you have a message for Erickson Lubin? Because last time around there was a lot said between the parties. Do you have a message for him about this?
It's real simple. I just want to fight. I want to just get it on, you know, like, for me, this is a long time out of the ring, and I've been edging and bugging, you know, this cut hasn't helped either, but right now it's like, you're holding me back, you know, so I can't wait. If the Lubin fight happens, if he doesn't go cold, starts getting cold feet, and I hope he accepts, because we do have some unfinished business, and I've got nothing but respect for the bloke, besides the fact that he went running last time.
How is the head healing up? You've got a nice scar there now in the shape of a V.
V for vengeance, you know.
V for vengeance. Is that what this is about? Is it about re-announcing yourself to the world after what happened in Vegas?
Man, it's not re-announcing. It's taking my throne back. You know, like the division's scattered at the moment. There's belts everywhere. But I was on the trajectory of being at the top, and you know, like, these things happen, and it's my job now is to take that throne back, and one by one, fight by fight. I'm not gonna just sit there and wait. I'm gonna go out there and get these fights. You know, like, these are the big fights to make, and I know for the next couple of years, I will be reigning this division.
You and your brother are heading off to Las Vegas
until Nikita moves up.
Until Nikita
comes up, and I'll go up to middleweight. I'll pass it on to him.
You'll be joining him for a training camp. You're leaving tomorrow. What are the plans over in Las Vegas?
Just train, man. Simple. Just lock in, train, have some fun. Me, Igor, Chef Omar, and Nikita, you know, we've got this little family bond together, and it's just focus, you know. We're going to be grinding hard and having some fun with it.
And you'd be excited about the fact that Nikita is fighting against Colin Tszyu, someone you know very well. That's an exciting fight.
Yeah, kudos to both boys, you know, to be taking on this type of fight. Cracking fight, you know. We grew up all with each other in the New South Wales boxing scene, so it's good to see boys growing up with each other, fighting on that New South Wales level at one time, fighting together in different tournaments, and then coming up on the biggest platform now on main event pay-per-view and getting it on. It's good to see.
It really is, and let's have a quick chat to Nikita Tszyu. Nikita, welcome, good to see you again. The 28th of August must be pleasing to now have an official date for this fight with Colin Tszyu.
Yeah, I've actually known about the date for quite some time now, and I've been preparing since the last few weeks, and yeah, just really glad to finally announce it. And yeah, just got this American training camp going, and it's going to be a great one.
Tell us about the fight with Colin Tszyu, someone you've crossed paths with a number of times through the amateurs and as a professional, but you're yet to share the ring.
Yeah, we grew up with each other. He was there for my first ever Australian title tournament. We were in the same New South Wales boxing team, and at one point in the amateurs, we were meant to fight with each other. We both had to pull out because injuries or sicknesses, and we both kind of knew that this fight would eventually happen. And it's kind of cool that it happened. It's happening in the pros. Like the amateurs was where it was kind of teased, but now here comes the main dish.
And tell us about that fight with Kyle Mazzuti, because the two of you seem to have a lot of similarities. We spoke yesterday at length with the pair of you, and there's a lot of similarities in the way you approach your fighting.
Yeah, I really like Colin. I like the way he thinks. I like the way he approaches things. It's like kind of like looking into a mirror. He's a little bit crazy the way I am, and I just know that when we're going to be in the ring together, we're both going to be just trying to kill each other, and we're going to be doing it with a smile. So it's going to be a beautiful act of violence.
Yeah, tell us, what do you think the fight looks like, given that attitude that you both share? Is this the bloody mess that you have been hoping for?
I honestly really feel like it will. Like I can, for some reason, I'm picturing some sort of like Spartan vibes where we're both in like this life or death situation, and we're both just, we know what's on the line, we know what's at the end of the path, and we're just going for it. Full respect with each other as well. We're not disrespectful people, but we're there just to fight.
So
Tim?
So stressful when you hear this stuff coming from a younger brother, man. I wish I never heard that.
Do you have some
Lucky
advice?
I will be in America. I won't be gone.
Do you have some advice for Nikita with the way that he's talking about the blood and guts battle he wants?
So my only advice is just keep it clean and try to get it done as soon as possible. No
No,
need
it's
for
gonna
these
be bloody.
bloody guts. Trust
Bloody.
me. I witnessed it, man. You don't want it.
Nikita, what are your thoughts about Tim's upcoming fight? Exciting that we now know it's in September, and the name Erickson Lubin is out there amongst others. How do you feel about what's coming up for Tim?
Yeah, it's an awesome weekend. Happy as well for him.
We could spar. He's a southpaw. So
Yeah.
that'd be good.
Well, initially when he was preparing for Lubin at the start of the year, we were sparring with each other a little bit. So maybe
Until we got banned.
Well,
Grandpa.
I think Boris is
Maybe we
here.
could-
Are we allowed to spar this time around?
Yeah, what is my guy?
Boris, it's okay, or
You get that? Yeah.
he says he's happy. Okay, well there you go. So you will be sparring with Nikita in preparation for the Southpaw.
It depends on him.
Okay, he might change his mind.
Yeah, probably.
it's like we're going to have the final chapter.
Oh, damn.
What does that look like when the pair of you spar?
Yeah.
It's scary.
It's painful actually. Sore necks and
Yeah.
ribs.
I had a busted nose one of the times we sparred. I had an operation afterwards.
Well, maybe we don't do that then in the lead up to this fight. But we do have some questions, I believe, from members of the media. Jeff, you want to kick us off?
Sure. G'day guys, Jeff Smith, Fox Sports News. One for you, teammate. Firstly, how is the cut? How's the healing process been? And it's been frustrating being told you haven't been able to spar these last few weeks. How have you found it?
Yeah, it's all now it's all according to plan. It's just been a bit of a waiting game, bit of a bump on the road, but it's all good.
And for you, Nikita, when you go into camp with your brother, do you sort of go to a different level knowing that you want to sort of show who the main Tszyu is out there?
Yeah, well, we're very competitive, and he's just a huge driving force to try and compete with and catch up to. Because he's leading the way in a way that is very difficult to catch up to. So he's very motivated to have him there.
Well, we're not competing with each other, man. You know, we're running our own race, so don't be saying.
Well, in the morning when we go for runs, and you.
I'll let you go first, all right? I'll let you go first.
Yeah, but I'm always looking back at the person catching up and like, go down.
Jamie McAllister. Question for Tim. You've reached the pinnacle of the sport, becoming a world champion. What's the sort of driving factor and motivation for you at this point in your career?
You know what? When I became world champion, I thought, you know, this is it, and it was definitely not it. So the pinnacle of sport isn't to become a world champion. It's just keep on working on that next mission, that next target, and keep getting better and better. And this, again, the possibilities are endless, and the goal it wasn't about becoming world champion, just being the man of the division, you know, and taken over that.
And a question for Nikita. Do you sort of draw sort of inspiration from what Tim has been able to achieve?
I look at him as like an archive of just information where you can just learn anything from him. And yeah, he's really set the bar for me to try and achieve the same stuff.
Jamie Ryan, Punch Podcast. Tim, let's nail down onto Lubin again. He does speak like a lot of your opponents have in the past, and do you really think he actually wants to fight you, or is he the yapping dog that you always talk about?
There's plenty of chihuahuas out there, isn't there? I don't know, we'll see. We'll wait for the negotiations. Fingers crossed he ain't like a chihuahua.
Is your ideal opponent, is he the one that you'd like to see?
Well, look, we're both with the IBF, you know, so this fight is the next fight will be against Bahrain, who's the IBF champ. And then after that, you know, if you're a belt holder, it's unification, so, you know, that's where the super fights happen.
Absolutely, and speaking of that super fight, you're about to put one on, George. What does this mean for a no-limit card in Australia? You don't do things in halves, let alone on a Tszyu card, but what does that mean? I'm sure you're going to stack that undercard and it's going to be a huge event.
Yeah, absolutely. We've raised the bar every time we've done a Tszyu fight, I think, and depending where we actually land, I'm excited for what we can actually do. Wherever that venue is, out of those cities that I mentioned previously, we'll make the absolute most of it, and I guarantee the undercard will be stacked. You know, we don't do things in halves here. We've put on some really great cards already this year, and the cards are going to get even better. There's going to be some great matchups. We've got so much talent here in Australia. These guys are leading the way, but there's a lot more coming, you know, just around the corner. So, good cards to come.
Thanks so much to the members of the media for their questions here today. So that is the news that we can make official here today, August the 28th, for Wednesday night on main event. You'll see Nikita Tszyu and Cohen Mazudia. Then on September the 22nd, a Sunday afternoon, Tszyu is back fighting here in Australia against an opponent that we await the name of in an IBF World Title Eliminator. A lot of back and forth between the brothers. Maybe we face the pair of you off for a photo opportunity.
We tried that yesterday, remember?
Yeah, well, let's give it another go. Come on, let's get Tim and Nikita up here. Georgia, do you want to get in between them in case it kicks off? So that's your news, and you'll see it all, of course, on main event television. Tszyu and Nikita Tszyu with big fights coming up in August and September. Thanks so much for your company here today. I'm Ben Damon. I'll see you at the fights.